This might be working.
Okay.
All right. We are live and we're back.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. I love it when it works. All right. Everybody in the chat, you guys good? Can you hear us okay? I just want to make sure we got our technical issue on my end fixed.
Mm. Brad's technical issue.
Yeah, I'm a moron.
Well, I didn't say that.
Well, you might as well have.
Might be thinking it.
Well, I hope everybody stuck around through all the technical difficulties. So if you didn't, my bad, and I hope you come back. Sean, just want to let you know the member in the chat, Key FN1, is none other than JP McGill.
Oh boy.
There you go. So we got to watch our language if the young McGill boys watch it.
Not really. It says it's for
Nah,
mature audiences, so if his
yeah, well,
parents aren't filtering, that's a parent problem, not mine.
that's right. That's a TP, not a OP. Their
Right.
problem, not our problem.
I can't control what JP McGill watches
Yeah.
on the internets.
All right. So listen, Sean, thank you for joining me on my first ever artist spotlight here on Twitch.tv. How you doing, buddy?
Thanks for having me. I'm doing great. Trying to make sure my hat is even. Really
Yeah, I wore a special hat for this one today because I'm probably not showered either.
I showered this morning, but then I worked all day.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Not
yeah,
that my
yeah, yeah.
hat's broken. I'm just gonna put it on this way, the right way.
It's a good look. It's a good look. So, look, here's what I'm going to do for the people that are hanging out watching. Thank you. This is Sean Patrick. He's new to Twitch. Sean Patrick Music is his Twitch channel name.
Correct.
Mary and Sean, I'm going to introduce you to Mary quite contrary in the chat. She's my moderator. So, a lot of times, if I ask to put a link or whatever in the chat, information on certain things, she's the one that does it. So, be nice to her.
Do you pay her?
No, well, no, we do not pay her. We
Making
pay
sure.
her in love.
That's
We
it.
should. Yeah, she's good people. She's out in California, and in the Twitch community, she is the moderator. There's nobody better than
Just
her.
the well. Thanks, Mary. I appreciate your generosity.
Yeah, she's very nice. So any information we want to put up, like for example, I could
Whoa.
say, "Hey, Mary, put the link to Sean's Twitch channel in the chat if you don't mind," and then she'll boom,
Boom.
done. She's good like that. All right, so Sean, let's talk, right? Like I know you and we're goofballs, as I said before, but let's actually get to know Sean Patrick, shall we?
Let's go.
Let's start from the beginning, Sean. How did your parents meet? I'm
Uh,
kidding.
I
No,
mean, I
no,
can tell you that story.
no, I'm just kidding.
Don't have to.
No, I'm just kidding. Uh, so to let the people in the chat know, Sean Patrick, New Jersey, born and bred. I'm obviously living in New Jersey now. We've become good friends over the years. Sean is quite the accomplished musician. He's done many, many things. I want to know. I want to hear about like how you got started and tell us some of the cool things that have happened over your musical career, and then hopefully we'll get to you playing a few songs as well, or a
Yeah.
couple.
I don't really know exactly when I got started. I guess it's kind of like high school. I had to choose between getting a guitar or getting a new backpack for camping because my parents made me continue with Boy Scouts until I was 18.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided I was going to go with the guitar. So I got that black guitar, which is up there.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there was just, I guess, just listening to bands. Me and my buddy Scott in high school started listening to bands like bands called like the Get Up Kids and MXPX and stuff. Somebody said turn my microphone up.
Yeah, do you mind?
Is that better? Did it go up? So let's see. So then we just started. So we just started playing in pop punk bands. Um, and I guess that's not even true. My first band was a band with a bunch of friends, and we just wrote some crappy rock songs that didn't work out very well. And I remember we played the town talent show. We had to try out for the talent show, and we didn't make it. And we played Today by Smashing Pumpkins, and the band broke up after that. And then I was asked to be in another band after that as the singer. That didn't work out very well. And then I started playing guitar and listening to a band called MXPX. And I was basically like, wait a minute, I could play this song. Like I don't have to join bands. I can start my own band and play the same music that I really enjoy playing.
Okay.
And then it just went from there. Found some friends that were really into it too, and man, we played for probably like 8 years, something like that. We were in a original band, and we did some small touring and recorded a 8 song record. And yeah, and then after that broke up, then we got into the cover scene.
And how many different cover bands have you been in over the years?
Uh, only, I mean, to be honest, the one just changed names. Like the first one I did was called Shots and Goggles, and 107 picked us up pretty early on, and then we just decided. I think we changed the name. I forget why to Late Night Alibi, but
Mhm.
it was still me, still kind of the same core guys, and we did that. God, I've been with 107 almost a decade now, and Lifespeed for 6 years. So I guess I did it almost 4 years.
All right.
Uh,
So Lou, before you go on, let's take a step back. You mentioned 107. So I know what 107 is, and I know what you're talking about. But to the folks in chat, what is 107?
107 is a production company, basically a booking agency, and they pick talent that's really good, that do well at venues. I guess keep people around, bars enjoy them, and if they're good, then a production company will pick you up and book you. So we got picked up pretty early on, and then when that band was breaking up, I was asked to try out for Lightspeed because they were on 107 and they really liked me, and obviously Lightspeed was the monster that they are, and it all worked out, I guess.
Anna in the chat is saying shots and goggles with a question mark. So how did you
Yes.
guys come to that band name?
The guy Joe Davis was our drummer, and he was actually like harassing me. I was working at Blockbuster, and he would constantly come to Blockbuster and be like, "Dude, we gotta be in a cover band. Gotta be a cover band," just because he knew I was in bands from high school. And this is why I don't live in my hometown anymore because I just didn't want to relive high school or talk to anybody from there. Not that I had any problem with this kid. And he every time I come in, we gotta do it. And eventually, I was just talking to my buddy Chuck, and I was like, "Dude, why don't we just do it? This kid plays drums." And he had his friend Andy, who you've met.
Mm-hmm.
His
Love
friend
Andy.
played bass, and so we just put it together and went from there.
And Lifespeed, you mentioned Lifespeed. Can you tell us a little bit about them? Again, I know all about Lifespeed, but for the
Yeah,
folks out there, before you even do that, if I could, like to the people that are in the chat room watching, New Jersey, and Sean, jump in whenever you want, but like New Jersey is big on cover band scene, if you will, right? Like there's a lot of different cover bands.
I
Look,
agree.
some really good ones, and some that you question how they got on the scene, and we won't bring up any of those band names, but they're out there. But regardless, they're doing their thing. And so I would say over, I mean, how long has Lifespeed been around?
So on 9/11, Lightspeed will be celebrating their 20th anniversary. So they've literally made a career. Like James T and Rob were have been in this band for 20 years, just about. And yeah, made a career, made a life out of it, and that's how big the New Jersey cover band scene is that you could be in a cover band and have a house and a family and a real career, which is nuts. I mean, go to like Ohio, and I'm sure that doesn't exist. You know what I mean? So
Mm,
it's pretty crazy because they're not the only ones. The Benjamins, the Nerds, what did Brian Kirk and the Jerks, right?
hmm. Yeah.
Like all just make. I mean, it's not an easy living, but it's a living nonetheless, and it's crazy.
Right. Then you got bands like the B Street Band, right, who focused on Springsteen primarily.
Yeah,
So
they're like tribute bands, but
tribute.
tribute bands have always been around, right? There's always been
Yeah.
like the what's the Pink Floyd one? I think they're just called The Wall.
The Wall. Okay.
I think so. There's a huge Led Zeppelin one. I know Sublime Badfish because Sublime
Badfish
the
is
guy
great.
died
Yeah.
before he could even know his album got big.
Yeah.
So there's tribute. There's always been tribute bands, but to have a cover band scene like in New Jersey is pretty unique.
And so Lifespeed's been around 20 years. And fair to say, and I'm not saying it because you guys are all good friends of mine, but it's fair to say that Lifespeed is probably, if not the one of the top tier bands. I mean, look, you've had guys in the band like PJ Farley, right? Who is, his name speaks for himself. If you know rock music, Trickster, rocking out with Jericho and Quarantine and Fozzy. I mean, Bobby Lynn, Bobby August, James McGill. I mean, come on. The list goes on and on with these guys and their accolades and things that they've done. So it's fair to say that Lifespeed is definitely one of the top cover bands in Jersey, and to be going for 20 years too, right?
Yeah, I mean, every time people ask me about Lightspeed, because I mean, we have a pretty big age discrepancy, and
Well,
people,
not that
it's
big of a discrepancy.
it's a decade, it's a decade. 10 years is 10 years,
Damn you.
and people are always asking me like, you're still in the band with these guys, and first off, again, people don't understand that the cover scene exists or what it's
Yeah.
really about, and then they'll be asking me, I'm like, where am I gonna go? Like, every guy in my band is the best to me. I
Hmm.
honestly, and I'm not the only one that believes that every guy in my band is the best at what they do in this scene, and like, so yeah, I mean, I think it takes a lot of luck too, because obviously there's bands where there's great guys and guys that don't hold their own weight, but yeah, it's just a band of everybody's just really great at what they do, and they just get along. And when they didn't get along, they trucked along, and they're still here 20 years later, which is pretty nuts.
And how did you get hooked up with them? And then we'll go on to your your
Yeah,
other stuff
like I
that you're
said, it was
doing now.
107. The band that I was in broke up, and I guess Lightspeed was looking for a new singer. They had lost their singer a couple years prior. They were doing kind of an experimental thing, like a Linkin Park deal with two singers, and it just wasn't working out. And 107 was like, look, there's this guy Sean. We love him, and he just got out of a band. Definitely try him out. And Lightspeed was pretty much, they were done. They were on their last leg too, and they weren't gonna do another band with more singers. And went to McGill's house. We practiced in his garage. I do remember we did Treasure by Bruno Mars because they wanted to see if I could sing harmonies with them,
Hmm.
and that was it. And a 2 hour round trip awkward drive with Rob Muller, who I didn't know at all, but had to sit in the front seat with him for an hour or 2 hours. And yeah, it was pretty much, that was it. I had the one audition and they were stoked, and here we are.
Here we are.
Not doing anything.
And yeah, and to clarify for the folks in the chat, and we're dropping names, but like just to let them know in live speed, we have James McGill, lead guitar vocals, right? Robert Muller, other guitar vocals, Tibor Bodner, drummer extraordinaire, Bobby August, who was in live speed, left for a while, is now back in live speed,
Yeah.
and then and you, of course,
And me.
and you. So when we throw those names out there, I just want the folks to know kind of who we're talking about. Um, and I definitely want to hear about the Vans, the Warp Tour, and all that kind of stuff, and how you got involved with that. In the meantime, would you mind performing a song for the folks watching today?
Sure. I mean, I knew I was going to play. Is there anything that
Yeah.
you would like me to play? I didn't really prepare anything. I could pick something out, but is there anything that you enjoy? Why, as I stand up and set myself up here?
Look, I love everything you do. So I didn't, I don't know if your parents are around watching, but I know your mom's a Beatles fan. Perhaps you could throw in some Beatles.
Could.
Well, like everything. Well, whether it's the Beatles, you could do some Muse maybe in a little while, just to kind of show your wide variety of what
Yeah.
what you play, and and things that hopefully you'll eventually play on your channel at Sean Patrick Music here on Twitch.
Yeah. I mean, that's the goal, is to do more stuff like that. Just me just making excuses of not having time, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So let me give it better. There we go.
See, I'm all jerseyed out. I just received a new pair of Vans.
Mm,
There's a New Jersey skate shop that just did a collaboration to make shoes, kind of utilizing the bricks that Sayreville makes.
okay.
So they're like these. I could show you them real quick.
And again, just to throw it out there, just so the folks are aware, Sean also manages a. Oh, those are nice.
Right, it's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
those are very nice.
So I'm like all in the New Jersey mode. So I was gonna play a song by a band from New Jersey.
You could do that.
If that's okay with Mary, quite contrary.
Absolutely. And listen, if the folks in the chat, if you have any questions, if there's you want to throw a song request out there, maybe for later on, just put it in there. But in the meantime,
Can
I'll
you
shut
can
up.
you hear me while I'm playing? Is it too loud? It's good.
Sounds fine to me. If the people in the chat let us know if it's too loud or not loud enough, let us know. But do your thing.
All right. So we'll see. I haven't played this one in a while. But it's a song by a New Jersey band called Shades Apart. I just rediscovered it the other day when I was in my car and listening to a playlist, I guess, that my wife put together for some reason. And this song was in it from, I guess it was the American Pie soundtrack, which is pretty crazy. It's called Stranger by the Day. So if you don't know it, Shades Apart is a New Jersey band. I don't know if they're still around. Check it out.
Cool.
Yeah, here we go.
There you go.
Snow is falling from the sky in the middle of July. Sun was shining in my eyes again last night. Alarm goes out without a sound. Silence is so loud. Something isn't right. Footsteps echo down the hall, and no one's there at all. Dial your number, but your voice says I'm not home. Everything is inside out. Didn't know what it's about. It keeps getting stranger by the day. Stranger by the day. It keeps getting stranger by the day. Stranger by the day. Going for a walk outside, see what I can find. No reflections in the window I pass by. It feels hotter in the shade. Water runs up from the drain, and something's going on. Conversations with a mime, stand out at the blind. Imagination must be working overtime. The world is upside down, everything is turned around. It keeps getting stranger by the day. Stranger by the day. It keeps getting stranger by the day. Stranger by the day. By the time I reach your door, take it anymore. I just happen to be in your neighborhood. I'm the one who gets surprised. Don't believe my eyes. Your alibi's no good. Whatever happened to the world? Ever happened to the girl I thought I knew? It just can't be true. I guess I'm losing you. Stranger by the day. Stranger by the day. It keeps getting stranger by the day. Stranger by the day. Ooh, stranger by the day. Ooh, stranger by the day. Yeah, yeah. Stranger by the day.
Very nice. Look, a little bit of applause for you there. Very nice.
Thank you.
So that song again was called "Stranger by the Day" by who?
They're called Shades Apart.
Okay. And they're from Jersey. Where in Jersey?
What was that?
Where in Jersey are they?
I don't know. I always think everything's kind of like that Sayreville, New Brunswick area, but I could be wrong. They had another song called Valentine. That was probably a bigger hit for them.
Were they what kind of a band were they? Were they a pop punk band? Were they just kind of
no, I think they
average
were more
rock?
like that, yeah, kind of like that 90s rock thing. You'd probably throw them in with like an Eve 6 or a Third Eye Blind.
Okay.
But the guy had like a very scratchy voice. I think it was actually, if I had to compare them to a band at the time, probably more like Everclear.
Okay, cool. Sure.
So maybe a less poppy Everclear, we'll say that.
All right. Just real quick, Lisa Kelly is in the
Hi,
chat.
Lisa.
Good friend
Nice,
of
nice
ours.
to see you.
Do you want to do another one, or you want to chat a little? What do you want to
I
do?
could do another one. I'm just playing with my computer here so I can get a song for you.
Playing with your what?
Trying to get you a song. Let's see. All right, you pick Smashing Pumpkins or Weezer.
Let's go to the chat. Smashing Pumpkins song or a
Smashing
Weezer
Pumpkins or
song?
Weezer.
Let's see what the consensus is.
Anna says Bridgewater, New Jersey. Is that where Shades Apart is from?
Maybe she knows.
All right, a lot of people. I mean, everybody that's in the chat is saying Weezer. So
There you go. Danielle, Christina 75. Yeah, we got Weezer, Anna, Lisa Kelly. So Anna's saying yes. So Anna, you know that band and you know that they're from Bridgewater. Okay.
unless she just Googled them.
She said the interwebs said so.
The internet's there. You go.
So it must be true.
It's got to be true.
Yeah, if it's in the interwebs.
Hell yeah. All right, I'm gonna do one that I've been doing out with my duo and my trio, and I do it solo every once in a while. I'll be playing solo at Red Rock Tap and Grill in Red Bank on Thursday. If anybody wants to come by, it'll be the day after my birthday show.
Oh, very nice. And we'll get your links put up in the chat so everybody can follow if they'd like.
Cool. Yeah, your moderator, Mary Quite Contrary, can do things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. See?
Cool. So this is a Weezer song, and then we could do some more chatting.
All right, cool.
Here we go. My name is Jonas, carrying the wheel. Thanks for all you've shown us. And this is how we feel. Come sit next to me, pour yourself some tea, just like Grandma made when we couldn't find sleep. Things were better then, once were never again. We've all left the den, let me tell you about it. Choo-choo train left right on time. A ticket costs only a mime. Driver said, hey man, we go all the way. Course we were willing to pay. My name was Whiteville. Got a box full of your toys, fresh out of batteries. But you're still making noise, making noise. Tell me what to do. Now this tank is dry. Now this wheel it's flat. And you know what else? Guess what I received in the mail today? Words of deep concern from a little brother. Building's not going as he planned. The foreman has injured his hand. The dozer will not clear a path. Driver swears he learned his math. Workers are going home. Workers are going home. Workers are going home. Workers are going home. Yeah! Workers are going home. Workers are going home. Workers are going home. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My name is Jonas.
Very nice. I'm a big fan of that song. That's probably one of my favorite Weezer songs right there.
Thank you. There's the one that I tried learning for a while, huh?
Yep, yep, yep.
Yeah, I got rid of the little hammer down. Yeah, so the one that I was working on for a long time, before I was like starting to do acoustic stuff, was a song called "Holiday" off that album.
Okay.
But I always forget, like, there's this little middle part where it's just bass, and I always screw up the guitar and singing at the same time. But
Is Holiday the song where they keep saying hip, hip? Is that the one or is that a different one?
that's "Island in the Sun."
Island in the Sun. Thank you. I get that. Okay.
Holiday is in. I mean, the Blue album's amazing. People usually only know "Sweater Song" and "Buddy Holly," and if "Say It Ain't So's" on it.
Okay.
That album is front to back phenomenal. One of the best albums of all time. Like in my eyes, it's incredible. My Name is Jonas, Holiday, In My Garage, Surf Wax, like everything on it's amazing.
Okay, so I've known you quite a long time, and I've seen you perform live a bunch of times, and we've talked about bands that you love, and I know about, we know that, earlier on I played Newfound Glory, and I definitely want to talk about that experience. I'm not going to play the video again, but like, what are some of the other bands that you really get into? And again, I know you play a little bit of everything because you play your mom's favorites, you play your dad's stuff, like when you're doing live streams, like what kind of music are you into?
I don't know. It's like you're always gonna get like silly cliche stuff. Like I'm literally looking at my Abbey Road poster on the wall from the Beatles. I talk about the band MXPX, so I have them on my wall. A lot of I guess New Jersey scene or just scene stuff, like bands that were like on Drive Through Records, like the Movie Life and Newfound Glory in Midtown. But I don't really know. I like a lot of stuff. Like right now, I keep saying it and getting teased for it. But right now, the one album that I've been listening to nonstop is the new Shawn Mendes album.
Okay.
Um,
He's good Canadian, by the way.
is he?
Yeah, he's from Toronto.
Well, there you go. Maybe that's why I'm really into it. But the whole album is well. There's two songs I don't like. I don't like the second song, and I think like the third to last song. But that album is awesome.
Really?
And I think my answer for that all the time when people ask me, I just like simple stuff. I like harmonies. I like old school harmonies and melodies, like stuff that comes across like that.
Hmm.
I'm not really like I know people love Rush and stuff like that, and I guess it's too complicated for me to understand time signatures and stuff like I just that doesn't do it for me. That's why I love Bruno Mars. Like Bruno Mars, as talented as he is, like
Hmm.
when it comes down to it, he's just a killer singer. His band's amazing. The harmonies are killer. And a lot of stuff that he does just goes back to old music, old
Yeah.
50s and 60s. Like, did you see he did the Little Richard tribute?
Was it Little? Yeah, and he did the dancing like Little Richard and whatnot. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
just the singing, the whole thing, like he's just phenomenal. So I
he's
don't
a
know.
real
I
deal.
guess I like a lot of that, like Motown. A lot of stuff don't people don't realize I listen to that. Um, I think it's just because when I was younger, I didn't have a lot of. I always say I didn't have any friends, and I hung out with, you know, a lot of times it was with, like my mom listening to like light rock and stuff like
Okay.
that. When I got my first CDs, they were my first CDs ever were Blink 182, Green Day, Offspring, and Boys to Men because that really goes together. And then the first album that I bought by myself was Mariah Carey Unplugged. So there you go.
Wow, that's a bit of a surprise. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. So
Didn't think he'd be the Mariah Carey kind of guy.
yeah, it
But
was
whatever, she's talented. I mean, there's no doubt. I mean,
super
she's
talented, dude. The whole what's it Dream Lover, that whole album. I guarantee you, if you put that on, your daughters will love it, and you'll sit there and be like, nah, I
not
can't
bad.
can't fight it. It's all super catchy pop song. Like the one song we're doing right now, every time I intro it, I'm like, this is literally top 5 favorite pop songs of all time is Teenage Dream by Katy Perry. Like
Okay.
it's top 5, one of the greatest pop songs ever written. Like it's literally coming like lyrically from the brain of an adolescent kid. Like when you actually read the lyrics for what they are and not just making fun of Katy Perry,
Hmm.
it's brilliant. It's just like the mental diary of a girl going out and like doing all these things, and it's poppy as hell and super catchy. So when we play it, I'm just like, this is one of my favorite top 5 pop songs of all time. Teenage Dream. It's great,
It's
and you can
funny,
rock it out.
and you can rock it out. Danielle Marie Christina 75 says now she knows what she's going to request on Sunday.
Okay.
So I'm
You
assuming
know
she's
what?
a
Teenage Dream doesn't work that well without Matt because he plays that solo part. Like if it's just me, I'm just doing rhythm, so I don't know if it'll come across well, but we can try it. I don't care. I already
By the way, go ahead. Sorry.
I always
No,
say
go.
like I'm like, it might sound bad, but I'm getting paid either way, so who cares?
That's
If
right.
that's what
You
they
don't
really
care.
want to hear, it's not my fault.
Yeah, exactly,
Oh,
exactly.
Mariah Carey? No, that's not gonna happen. I don't know any Mariah Carey songs. I just like Mariah Carey.
I like old, like on Mariah Carey's first album, and I was actually talking to
It's
Stacy
great.
about this. Amazing album.
Yeah.
Love it.
I honestly think I bought that unplugged album because she did the cover of the Jackson 5. Right?
Mm,
I'll be there, right?
hmm
That was her big like hit with that cover. I think that's why I bought it. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I love that first album. Real quick, I'd like to give a shout out to Robert Mueller from Lifespeed, who is hanging out watching. He just sent me a photograph of our chat.
Yeah,
Love
Rob.
to. We should get Rob on here.
We should get Rob on here.
I
Send
could
him a
send him.
link.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to take the link, and Rob Mueller, if you can hear us. Oh, and by the way, Sean, can you turn your mic up a little bit? Lisa Kelly was bitching.
You want me to turn it up again? You got it.
Just a smidge, just a smidge. I'm going to send the link to Robert Mueller in
Is that better?
Facebook. Sounds great to me.
Cool.
I'm going to send it to Robert Mueller in Facebook Messenger. So, Robert, if you can
Rob,
hear
you don't have
us,
to wear pants. It's okay.
no, he never wears pants. He's a pantless kind of guy.
He doesn't have to wear pants ever.
No, pants are optional. And
In
let me
case you're
just,
wondering, I always have these nice beers. I know James McGill always makes fun of me. So this one's called Cow of Silence. So it's a
Lisa.
Bolero Snort, which they do a lot at Midland Brewery or Midland Brew House. It's a 10%
Oh,
golden
my.
ale. It is fantastic. Every one of their names of their beers have to do with cows and bulls and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
That's one thing about you, right? You've always enjoyed, I say fancy beers because I'm not a fancy beer guy, but I guess custom, that's one of your things, right? You like the brewer, what do you call them? Custom brewery.
Craft. Well, I'm not so
Thank you.
yeah, there's people that are obsessed with craft beers. Um I'm only into like a couple of, I don't go into like the whole brewery thing where people go nuts. Like there's a couple of breweries that I really like. Bolero is one of them. Kane. Um and there's one called Equilibrium up in upstate New York,
Hmm.
and that one's really good too. But yeah, I mean, I just like strong beers, and I like beers that taste good. I Funny enough, as
So
much as I drink, if I go out to eat, like I don't like drinking. Like it doesn't do any. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, I don't like to
I'd
drink with
rather have a
with
water
dinner
or
either.
a soda.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna drink, I mean, I want it to be good, and I want it to be something different and strong. So
Can we? Well, I don't want to, give out too information, but do you remember after my birthday party when you drank a full bottle of Jack?
I do. Well, no, I remember I was
You
there
are
the
right.
whole time. There's
Yeah.
times where I'm not there, like
Yeah.
the last time I played a boathouse.
Mm.
Um, sadly, but no, I was there the whole time. I was wide awake. I know exactly everything that happened that night.
It was a good time. It was a good
But
time.
yeah, I still have the other bottle that I was graciously given to me.
Hmm.
I keep trying to bring it out to places, and I just never end up drinking it.
You always got to have it with you though, just in
Oh yeah,
case.
I brought that and 3 cans of Coca-Cola, thinking I was gonna have Jack and Coke, and that didn't happen.
Nick, there's always next time.
Yeah, hey,
It's fun.
I'll keep it with me forever until it's gone.
There you go. Where are you playing this Sunday?
I'm playing a couple shows this week. Thursday, I'm at Red Rock. Saturday, I'm at Willie McBride's in Hoboken. Then Sunday is my final Sunday fun day at Tiki Bar. We played, I think, 6 Sundays.
Okay.
We didn't play last Sunday because I was away. But yeah, we're playing Sunday at Tiki Bar. So it was supposed to play Friday, but I had a family emergency. That's on me. So nothing I can do
Okay.
about it sometimes. But
Yeah.
I cancel like maybe one show every 2 years, and it just ended up being this Friday, sadly.
All right. Well, there's always Sunday, and Danielle will hopefully ask you to not play Mariah Carey.
She can ask all she wants. She's seen the shows. If I don't know how to play it, I don't play it.
Yeah.
That was my one thing with 107 because I didn't always do acoustic stuff. I just don't always feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him flat out, I'm like, look, yeah, with the pandemic and if this is the only way I'm going to be able to play music, I'm totally down. But you need to let the bar owners know I'm not James McGill. I don't have the song repertoire that he has, nor do I have the capability of being very pleasing to everybody. So the minute people start asking me for like song, I just shut down. I'm like, yeah, okay. Like people ask me for country music. I'm like, yeah, here's my favorite country song. And then I'll just play Fall Out Boy or something. Like I just, it's
Nice.
never what they want to hear.
I was going to ask you. So, taking a step back, like you played in the Vans Warped Tour back in the day, as the kids say these days. How did that come about? Like, what was that experience like?
Yeah. The only reason we played Warp Tour was because I was friends with the brother and sister duo that owned Drive Through Records at the time. And Drive Through Records just blew up. They were huge. But Henry, the guy that plays drums in my duo and trio, he makes fun of me because he's like, "You always have a story." I'm like, well, yeah, because I'm not. I'm gonna keep saying I'm old. But I grew up when that whole thing started to blow up,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw those bands get big. Some of my friends' bands got big. Some of us didn't. And so I was there from the ground floor. Like when Newfound Glory literally signed to Drive Through Records, I remember they had a red and yellow website. Like it was probably like AOL.com/Drive Through Records. Reached out to the owners and I was like, guys, you're signing my favorite band of all time, Newfound Glory. Like people don't know them or they're just getting big. Like I'm hooked on Drive Through, and then they signed other bands and became friends with them. And then long story short, Drive Through got huge. They had again, Newfound Glory, Midtown, Phoenix TX was big then. Then bands called like the Starting Line and Something Corporate and Finn, like their entire roster blew up. And because of that, they actually got their own stage at the Warp Tour in 2002. So if you haven't been to Warp Tour, there were four main stages, and they were all
Mm-hmm.
like just directionals, right? North stage, south stage, and then they started getting names. But then they also had side stages, and one of the side stages was the Drive Through Record stage, and they were really cool about it. They put their bands on as the headliners, and again, the one thing people might not know about Warp Tour is there is no headliner for Warp Tour. When they pick the time slots, they literally
Right.
wake up in the morning, and they used to. It doesn't exist anymore, but they used to wake up in the morning and put all the names. I don't know how they picked them, maybe in a hat or a hopper or whatever, and they would just pick the names out. So Newfound Glory might have gone on at 12 in the afternoon. No Effects might have gone on at 1 o'clock, and if you didn't get there in time, you missed them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, so Drive Through Records kind of did that. Their bands were on the end of the night or the day, and then the beginning of the day they would have local bands or their friends band just play half hour 45-minute slots, which was pretty cool. They're trying to get just people exposure and stuff like that. So because we were friends with them, they hooked us up with a date in Bristow, Virginia, at I think what was the Pepsi Center at the time, which was pretty nuts. So we played there, and then we played the Asbury one because we were a Jersey band, so they made sure that we played in the Asbury Warp Tour. And then a band called the Early November had just gotten signed to Drive Through, and I don't think the band was really solidified. Like they had songs out, but the band lineup wasn't really solid. So as I remember it, they were like, "Yeah, Early November is not going to play the rest of the dates of Warp Tour. Do you want to play? Like you played the last two, everything was great. Do you want to play these next three dates?" So they gave us Buffalo and Toronto and Montreal. I played Parc Jean Drapeau, and I played I maybe that was the Pepsi Center.
Okay. Oh,
But
in Montreal.
yeah, I know we definitely played Parc Jean Drapeau. That one sticks out. I don't know why. And then we played in Toronto. And then that's just a super super long story. Like I was on the podcast with Two Clouded Minds. Have you seen those guys?
I saw that. Yeah, I saw when you were on.
And I told them I'll sit down. Like if I tell the Warp Tour story, it's an easy hour. Like it's
Sure.
just the longest story, but it's a great story about us. Just getting to the venues and making sure we are able to play, knowing that we were going to break down and not make it home. And sure enough, that happened. And it's just like a really. I always said if I was smart enough, I would write a screenplay, and it would probably be a pretty good movie, like a road trip type deal.
Almost like an almost famous kind of a thing.
Kind of. Only we're
Sort
not
of.
famous at all.
No, no, we're infamous. I say
Infamous.
we. You're you more so than
Like
I.
the inevitable James McGill.
Inevitable. And speaking of James McGill, the other guy, Robert Mueller, I did send him the link. I know he has seen the link.
Oh, he has like
Yes,
raid receipts on.
he's yes, but
Mm.
he has not clearly clicked the link.
That's all right. It's not for everybody.
Maybe he needs to comb his hair. Who knows?
Hey, his hair looks great right now.
It's long. It's looking good. It's a good
It
look for
is
him.
luxurious, as they would
I
say.
I miss Rob Mueller. I haven't seen him in a while. I
I do
love that guy.
too. I don't get to see any of those guys anymore.
And that's the other thing, right? Like with quarantine and COVID and all this other kind of BS, like the band was kind of put on hold because there was no live events. But through that, you managed to form a duo and a trio, and you started. I mean, I've seen you out. Like you managed to get gigs, though, right? Like, I mean, I say right, like I'm like asking, but I know. But for the folks watching, um, Lisa Kelly says Rob's out buying funky shirts.
Funky
Uh,
shirts.
funky shirts. But like you managed to create something based off like the demise of one thing. You and Henri and it's Matt, right? The guitar
Yeah.
player. You're right.
Yep.
Um, like so, you managed to create something out of nothing during that period. And I mean, I've seen you guys play. You're great. You're good.
Yeah. I mean, it's and thank you. Like I said, it was just super ironic that the shutdown happened right as I had talked to 107 about finally doing acoustic stuff because they had asked me to do it forever. And James had been doing it, Rob had been doing it. And like I said, I'm, I'm a band guy. Like getting up there and just being with the guitar and singing, it's not my thing. I like doing it now because again, it helps my mental health because I would just freak out if I wasn't playing anymore.
Sure.
So it just kind of worked out that like literally I bought all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, let's go. Let's start doing solo stuff. And all of a sudden it's like, nope, shut down, we're done. And then when they started kind of being like, okay, we're gonna do like a band outside or a two piece or whatever, I just got asked to fill in a couple times. I was like, yeah, I mean, I got all this equipment now, like might
Yeah.
as
Right.
well. And I just kind of fell into it. The solo stuff was easy, and Henry was playing with another guy who bailed, and I was like, cool, man. I mean, I'm enjoying playing with you if you're down. And then Henry had a guitarist, and he was down to play too. So he helps me out. I love doing the tree. Like I said, I'm more of a band guy. I'm a singer. I don't really feel comfortable a lot playing guitar.
Right.
So to have him play guitar and take over from that, I could just do rhythm, and Henry can just crush it on drums. And yeah, it's been pretty fun.
And Matt's a great guitar player too. Like
Yeah.
first time I saw him, like, who's this guy? But holy shit, yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that he doesn't know his shit because he does. Like, he knows theory and everything like that. But I also think he's just one of those guys that he gets it. Like, he hears it and he can play it.
That's great.
And he understands it. Like, I still look at the guitar and have no idea what, like, I just know a lot of muscle memory. Like, I know chords and I know where stuff lays on the fretboard. But if you ask me what I'm doing, my Rutgers degree in music just goes out the window. So,
Out the window. All right. So real quick, let's tell folks where they can catch you because I know you're on Instagram, you're on the Facebook, and now you're on the Twitch. So where can people find you? What are your channel or page, whatever? What are
yeah, I
your what
think
are you?
I think Twitch and Instagram are the same. They're both
Okay,
Sean Patrick Music.
perfect.
And then I think on Facebook it's Sean Patrick Music NJ.
Okay.
Anybody's on Twitter, I think it's like Sean Patrick SNG, like for singer, I guess. I don't really know. And then on YouTube, it's a weird one. It's I think youtube.com/pillowhead demos.
Really?
Yeah, that's an old when we used to tour in the van as kids, we had this running joke. We called ourselves the Pillowhead Mafia because we were delirious, and we
Okay.
literally would just put pillows on our head, like sack and all, and we would speak in Mexican accents. And we were called the Pillowhead Mafia. And whoever was trying to sleep or trying to get us to leave them alone, we would just really super annoy them in the middle of the night.
Hmm.
And we actually had names. Mine was El Santo Delfin, which is the saint of the end, which I'm sure that's not really Spanish. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, yeah. So Pillowhead Demos is the name of that YouTube site because it's been there forever. So I got to change that.
All right. So now, as far as the Twitch goes, Mary put your Twitch.
Thank you, Mary.
Yeah, she put the link in the chat there for everybody to click on and hopefully give you a follow. Because how long have you actually been signed up for Twitch?
Oh, not long at all. I don't
Yeah.
know what the first Twitch I want. Oh no, I was using Twitch because the Barstool Sports guys were playing NCAA football.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw that, and he was getting like 60,000 people watching him play a NCAA game from 1996. Like it was nuts.
Yeah.
So I was bought in. I was watching it, and the wife was watching it with me. She was getting into it too, and then bounced off. I haven't had any use for it because I guess I was streaming on Facebook and I was streaming on Instagram, but
Mhm.
now it just seems like this is the way to go. Just going on Twitch, it's super easy, and I know using the browsers and stuff like that are great.
And of course, like there's some cool things about Twitch where, and you'll get there, right? You get more followers, you can get subscribers. It's when you're doing the Facebook and Instagram, and it's always nice that people offer up tips, for song requests if you want, like, oh, play
Right.
my song, you play it for them, and they throw you a couple bucks as a tip. Kind of the same thing here on Twitch, right? Like you could do bits and there's a whole bunch of stuff, but
Yeah.
once you get the hang of it, the reason I wanted to kind of do this and put you out there like this is that I'm a DJ and there's a shitload of DJs here on Twitch. And, it's been great meeting a lot of great people and communities and people that follow, like Mary and a whole bunch of other people. But I don't see many, and people in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong, and maybe you guys have seen it, but I don't see many musicians
Right.
doing what you guys were doing on the other social media during COVID and everything else. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen some people here and there that are so, but
Mm-hmm.
I honestly, I've tried to tell James McGill to get on here. I haven't seen anybody like yourself. I've told you about one guy, or Ordo Pilot out of England. I think he's amazing. And
It's called Autopilot.
Ordo, ORTO,
ORTO. Ordo
correct.
Pilot.
Yeah, he's a British guy. I mean, there are musicians on Twitch, Mary, but like I haven't really seen any personally that are uh I don't
Doing
know,
live
maybe.
streams and stuff like that.
Yeah, maybe I'm not searching enough because I'm fixated on the whole DJ community personally.
Right.
So, but that being said, with Twitch, do you anticipate having an idea, or do you anticipate getting on anytime soon to do a stream? I know you're busy.
Yeah, I mean, I had to. I mean, I want to come up with some kind of schedule. I mean, it always worked out for me doing Mondays just because I work. So my Mondays and Tuesday mornings are usually, the time. But to be honest, like March is usually just a throwaway month for me. So I knew I wasn't gonna do much because I got, usually we have Parade Day, which is in
Mhm.
Belmar, and then St. Patrick's Day, and then my brother's birthday, and then his anniversary, and then my birthday, and like it just never ends.
Yeah,
So March is usually like a dead month for me. So hopefully in April I could pick. I know as the weather gets better, when the shutdown was really like in the heat of it, I was actually doing the live streams, but setting up a PA system at my window,
I
and my
remember.
neighbors were setting up their chairs and sitting in the street and listening and like cheering me on and stuff like that. So I know a lot of them are still stuck in that quarantine blues and jobless and shit like that. So um, yeah, I told them I would definitely I would definitely start doing that again. So probably in April. And probably like Mondays or Tuesdays because those are my best days that again, like I said, I work in the morning, so then by the time I come home, as long as everything's set up, I'm good to go.
So Mary is saying, so no stress or prep is required.
That's right. Oh, and like I said, like the OBS system like that they have is great. Like it's
Yeah.
super easy. Whereas when I was doing the Facebook one, I know it was definitely dropping out a lot, or
Mhm.
it was a lot of technical stuff not working. And I know now too, like even like Facebook Live, like they stop you, or like people are getting in trouble for just using
Yeah,
their own material. It's crazy.
yeah,
Yeah, Anna's
but
saying she watches a lot of musicians. Mary's saying you can stream your practices.
that's true. That's true too. Yeah, 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 yeah. So what do you think? Do you want to do another tune? Do you mind?
Sure.
Do you have something in mind, or do you want
Nope.
us? All right. Do we have options for the people in the chat? Maybe for Anna or Mary or Lisa or somebody in the
I don't know
chat
what kind of
to.
bands do they listen to. I'm gonna have to stand up anyway and move my stuff around. So what
Okay,
bands do they listen to? I can't promise I'm gonna do anything, but we can start there.
we can ask at the very least. That's what's great about being friends with Sean, being a musician. I can throw songs out there, and he'll just constantly tell me no
And
because
and I tolerate you a little better.
yeah, yeah. It's the sympathy friendship I appreciate. Danielle wants to hear some MXPX.
I don't think anybody cares about MXPX out there.
You
I don't
never
think
know.
anybody's ever heard an MXPX, even though I just ordered for my birthday. They released their entire discography on vinyl. It's about $350. I had to say that
Wow.
really low, but
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, way
right.
up, way up.
Yeah, how did this show up at the door? I don't know where this came. Must have been a free gift. Danielle says Mike Herrera is her man. I'm assuming he's in MXPX, right?
He is MXPX.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, the other guys have been in it too. It's the same three guys, but Mike Herrera is the guy.
Very cool. Very cool. Listen, if it's cool because nobody's putting anything in the chat as a suggestion, I'm going to throw out Muse at you. But again, whatever you feel like doing, it's I don't want to be that guy.
When I walk away from the microphone, you can't hear me at all, can you?
Not really, no. I mean, barely, but
All right, I'll do an MXPX song real quick.
all right. There you
Even
go,
though
Danielle.
a lot of times I do these songs, and the truth is I did them like once during the live stream and then never touched them again. This is one of those songs.
Okay. Danielle's happy. Here we go.
Good, finally, because she never seems like she's happy when I'm playing songs for her daughters.
Oh.
Yeah, Mary, I know I don't have a great microphone, but as long as I'm with it, we're good. All right, that sounds all right to you there, Brad? Nothing too loud? All right, so this is a song called Middle Name. It's literally like if I have to trace back why I started playing in a band, it's because of this song. So yeah, hopefully I can play it again. Here we go. Emotion is my middle name. Lay in bed, listen to the rain. Put happy thoughts into my head. I find instead learning words you said. Why won't you believe me when I tell you things that I say? Still see you tomorrow at the show. It's been a long-winded, long time. Wish I never met you. I wish I could forget you and the words you say. You directed your complaint to me, and I should walk away. I could easily never hear a word you say. I'm not your robot or your slave. I won't behave. I'm not your toy. Go on, go. Bury me with self-righteousness. Why confess? I'm just a boy. Why won't tell you things that I say, still see you tomorrow at the show. It's been a long-winded, long time. Wish I never met you. I wish I could forget you on the word you say. You directly you complain to me. Well, I should walk away. I could easily never hear a word you say. Why won't you believe me when I tell you things that I say? Still see you tomorrow at the show. Totally made up that middle part because I didn't know where I was going, but there you go. MXPX middle name. Cheers.
It was great. It was good. Thank you very much. Lisa Kelly threw out Velvet Revolver or
Ooh,
Kane.
she threw out Keen. That's
Yeah.
one of my favorites that I break out all the time solo, and nobody knows the Keen song that I know.
Do you want to do it? Do you mind?
No, that's fine.
All right. Anna
Thank
said,
you,
"Nice
guys.
job." You got applause from Danielle, and Anna
Thank you,
says,
thank
"Nice
you.
job."
Sometimes I forget like these ones I can sing higher up, so I got to capo them.
Mm-hmm. Real quick, Anna, where are you from? Because I know that I've seen you in other channels, the Metal Social Sunday with Britt, and I know you were on my channel one night with Chris. Where are you watching from? Are you on the West Coast or are you East Coast? Because I tend to have a lot of folks on the West Coast that watch. So anyway, oh, Southern California. There you go. A what song?
Out of nowhere, I broke out Sunday Bloody Sunday with Henry the other day because somebody wanted Irish music. I don't know how well that went either.
You know me, I like a good U2 song anytime, any day.
It's always a blur. I never know how things work out.
Yeah. Look, if the places keep calling you, go back. And
well, yeah, I guess I've tried to say that to myself several times. Like, if I'm getting called back and I'm continuing to getting paid,
you're all right. You did good.
Yes, it's not that bad, right?
Yeah.
It might just be me.
Oh, if it's anybody, it's definitely you.
It's totally me. I mean, if they're gonna keep shoving whiskey down my throats.
Bad people. Bad people do those things.
Yeah, it's true. One day it's gonna get me in a lot of trouble.
One day, but until then, whoop it up.
I'm gonna try it every time. Nobody wants to hear my stories. Every time I do this song, I'm like, I forget how it goes, and then I get to the one part, I'm like, shit. But I'll try us. I hope JP's not still listening because I just said shit.
Nah.
This is also PJ Farley's song. Loves this one. I always thought that I knew, always have the right to be living in a kingdom of the good and true. So on, now I think I was wrong. You were laughing along, and now I look a fool because I think you're wrong. My side, is it any wonder I'm tired? Is it any wonder that I feel uptight? Is it any wonder that I know what's right? Sometimes hard to know where I stand. It's hard to know where I am. Maybe it's a puzzle that I understand. But sometimes
get the feeling that I'm stranded in the wrong time. Well, love is just a lyric in a children's rhyme. Soundbite, isn't any wonder I'm tired? Isn't any wonder that I feel uptight? Isn't any wonder that I know what's right these days? And after all the misery you made, isn't any wonder that I feel afraid? Isn't any wonder that I feel betrayed? Nothing left beside this old cathedral with this sad, lonely spires to make it right. Oh, why isn't any wonder I'm tired? Isn't any wonder that I feel tight? Isn't any wonder I don't know what's right these days? After all the misery you made, isn't any wonder that I feel afraid? Isn't any wonder that I feel betrayed?
Something like that.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Good job, buddy. What's that?
I said, oh, thanks.
No, yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, every time I get to that one part, and I'm like, shit, I don't remember it. I should learn it again.
Well, you faked it pretty well if that was the case that time.
I always forget that little walk down on the D. I know everybody's sitting there like, damn it, he didn't walk down on the D.
Way to go. Way to go, Sean. Anna likes it, though. Anna out in Southern California.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys have never heard that song, it's called Isn't Any Wonder by Keen. Check it out. It's probably the only song out. They had another song that was really good. That was like a huge hit.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were like a Coldplay ripoff. Like Coldplay came out and then Keen came out.
Yeah. Didn't Ed Sheeran write songs for Keen? If I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong.
Very possible.
Right? Snow Patrol is one of them I know as well, but yes, Somewhere Only We Know. That is correct.
Thank you, Lisa. Somewhere Only We Know.
Is that a request, Lisa?
That was the Keen song. That was their big,
right.
big hit.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to give you your Muse song, and I think that's it.
Yeah, let's do one more. That's great. Thank you. Oh, you're the best.
Not the best. James McGill's the best.
Well, James McGill's pretty great too, but you're up there.
I'm in there. I'm in the conversation.
Always.
All right. So here's a Muse song for Brad. Thanks for having me on your Twitch, buddy.
Thanks,
I know
man.
it's been over an hour. I know that's probably way too long. So
no, please. I did my stream last night. We were on for 5 hours.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. People are paying attention.
Sean
DJ
Patrick
Staples,
Music.
Radical.
That's right. Sean Patrick Music here on Twitch. Make sure you give him a follow on his channel if you haven't already. A lot of times on Twitch, I'll say this and then I'll stop yapping and let you play your song. A lot of times on Twitch, you just get random people coming to your channel. They don't necessarily join in the chat, but they're out there. There's viewers, lurkers, if you will. So listen, if you guys like what you're seeing on the channel, give me a follow as well, but definitely check out Sean Patrick Music here on Twitch. I do DJ on Twitch a lot. So give the channel a follow and a like if you're into that, or subscribe. We get custom emotes as well. That's something else you're going to have to do, Sean. Create custom emotes.
Custom emotes.
Yeah. So when people subscribe at certain tier levels on your channel, they get custom emotes as the reward.
Like an emote of my dog.
Whatever you want. And I know some people that can make an emote very quickly.
It is National Puppy Day, by the way.
Oh, happy National Puppy Day to your dog.
Yeah, she's outside complaining because I'm inside.
Poor thing. You're leaving her hanging. Well, then let's let you do your last song, and then you can get back to the pooch.
Yeah, we do whatever you want. You want to hear this one? It's probably the only one that I do well. I think we've completely let Time Is Running Out fade off of the set list for some reason. I don't know why, but
It's a great one.
yeah, here's a little muse for you, Brad. Cheers,
Thanks,
pal.
buddy.
Far away, this ship is taking me far away from the memories of the people who can't believe on time. Starlight, I'll be chasing a starlight until the end of my life. I don't know if it's worth it anymore. Oh, you in my arms, I just wanted to hold you in my arms. My life, you electrify my life. Let's conspire to ignite all the souls that would die just to feel alive. I'll never let you go if you promise not to fade away, never fade away. Our hopes and expectations, black holes and revelations. Our hopes and expectations, black holes and revelations. Oh, you in my arms, I just wanted to hold you in my arms. Far away, this ship is taking me far away from the memories of the people who can't believe or die. I'll never let you go if you promise not to fade away, never fade away. Yeah. Our hopes and expectations, black holes and revelations. Yeah. Our hopes and expectations, black holes and revelations. Oh, you in my arms, I just wanted to hold you in my arms. I just wanted to hold. Little raspy at the end there. There you go.
Wow, that's got to as a vocalist, that's got to be pretty hard to sing, right? Because that guy's voice. I mean, you do a good job of it. Don't get me
It's
wrong.
impossible to sing, and that's a half step down.
Oh, okay. Well, look, Anna in the chat seems to like it, and hopefully, hopefully some people will. Mary, quite contrary, said it was nice. So, I think you might be onto something, Sean, with this music
Thanks,
thing.
guys.
Yeah, you might be onto something here, man. So listen, I want to say thanks again for doing this with me. This was the first of hopefully others. I'm glad it was with somebody like you, somebody I know and good pals with. So
Yeah.
I appreciate you, willing to do this with me.
Yeah,
And
dude. Anytime. I mean, you got nothing to do? Let me know. Like I said, Mondays and Tuesdays, I got nothing. Nothing.
yeah, Mary makes a good point. Like even if you just practice on a Twitch stream,
Yeah.
people, if you build it, they will come, right? So
You film it, they will come.
that's right. So if you do that kind of thing, definitely throw it out there. But Mary, thank you for moderating as always. You're amazing, and
Thank you, Mary.
for your assistance. And don't try and steal my moderator, Sean. She's a busy woman. Just like
Mary, I'm
just
much
putting it out there.
I'm vice person. Much younger and much more handsome.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And Lisa Kelly, thank you for hanging out. Rob Muller, if you're out there, shame on you for not clicking the link and joining us, but it is what it is. Maybe another time. So Sean Patrick Music here on the Twitch and the Instagram.
Sean Patrick Music.
Right.
And maybe next time I'll actually tell you the story about the Newfound Glory thing.
Do you want to tell it real quick?
Nope.
No? Well, here's what I'm going to do, because this is what I do, and I'm sorry we didn't get to that. Sean performed on stage with Newfound Glory. I put the YouTube link right here in the chat if you want to check it out. It's video recorded, so it's phone recorded audio, so it's a little
I can tell
choppy,
you a
but
funny story about that recording.
sure.
So there's several recordings of that out there. The really good one was this girl named Diana who actually used to watch my band Gibbler back in the day, which was just ironic as it was. But that show, my friends from No Standards, Chris and his now wife Jessie, had 2 extra tickets for that show.
Okay.
I put it up there. I was like, whoever wants them. I don't even know if I charged them or if I did. It was like nothing because we had to get rid of them. So like, yeah, we'll go. But they couldn't meet us. So I was like, well, I'm going in. We're gonna leave the key. We're gonna leave the tickets in my wife's car. Just this is where the car is. Open up the door. Take the tickets. Just make sure you lock it. So they literally did that. Got the tickets. Walked in. And I think the video that you might have is theirs because I think theirs is the best. They're far away.
Yeah,
And
that's the one.
hear them going, "Oh my God, it's Sean!" They literally walked in
Yeah.
as they saw the person that gave them the tickets somehow get pulled up on stage. And
That's
if you actually
great.
see me point, I see them at the back of the room. That's me
Mm-hmm.
pointing literally at them because it was just like super ironic. So it's one of those crazy stories. But yeah, we can talk about it next time.
There is a great camera angle of somebody in the front row, give or take, first or second row from the stage as well, where the lead singer eventually just walks off the stage because you're killing it, and then he just starts crowd surfing, like literally over this person's camera phone. That's where he started his crowd surfing, and then they were like trying to get him out of the way so they could focus back on you on stage, but. Look, I'm not gonna lie. You're my buddy, and that was pretty cool thing when I first saw that, man. And every time I watch them, like that's so badass. Like you're a singer in a band. It's what you do. They didn't know that, and I know you were singing all the words, all the songs in the front row, and they pulled you up, and it was a good fit, and you nailed it, and it's awesome. So I hope people click on the YouTube link that I put in the
If
chat.
I tell you that story again, I'll tell you about how I ended up in the hospital the next night
Oh, that's not good.
or that night
That night?
because of that. Yeah.
Oh, sorry to hear that. Well, I'm glad you're okay.
I mean, it's
But
not really that great a story. I basically went so hard that I
yeah,
bruised ribs.
really.
Yes.
From when from when you were singing on the stage? Really?
Like true story. Like I was hurting so much that my wife's like, you need to go to the hospital. Like I couldn't breathe. I did nothing bad. Like I didn't break
Yeah.
anything. But I just whatever I did, it was too much. And yeah, I actually hurt myself doing that.
I mean, look, you said later we'll talk about it, but we're talking
We'll
about
talk
it now.
about it later. We'll talk about it later.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about it later. But I like when I see you perform, you're always into it and you're doing your thing. And when you did Newfound Glory, obviously you were just doing your thing almost like 10 times
Right.
more, but the adrenaline and the energy, were you like, this is fantastic? Or were you just like, oh, it's another gig. I'm into it. Let's have a good time.
I mean, to be honest, I was like, holy shit, like I better not fuck this up.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I'm nervous as it is when you play because like I don't want to screw it up. And I was like, I'm literally on stage with Newfound Glory, like showing them my tattoo
Your
from when I was
tattoo, that's right.
and yeah, no, it was surreal. It was crazy, and I was like, fuck, I better not screw this up. And I still listen to it. And I'm like, damn it, you fucked this up, or you did this wrong, or whatever. But no, it was cool.
That's awesome. And for anybody in the chat that's curious, the song is Twos and Threes, correct?
It is.
What album is that on?
It was off their first album called Nothing Gold Can Stay.
There you
Which
go.
is
So,
Outsider's quote, right? I think.
oh, all right. I did not know that. All right, cool. So there it is. That's the Newfound Glory story, everybody.
Partially, yeah.
Somewhat. Yeah. So Sean Patrick Music on the Twitch. Give the channel a follow. I'm DJ Staples93. Give us a follow if you like what you heard. Like I said, follow either one of us. You'll find out when we do go live. Like I said, I typically DJ. Next week, I'm going to be doing this again. I have two shows again next week on Monday for my DJ roundtable, Sean. It'll be myself and my DJ pals, Thomas Hall from Toronto, DJ Mike Harding, who was going to jump in today, but he got caught up. Eli Katz, who I might rate into, and trying to think what else we got. Anyway, myself, Impressions DJ. Anyway, we all get together and we just start shooting shit and bullshit, and we like to have some guests on. And so next Monday, I'm going to have DJ Bueller from Sirius XM Radio, who is on First Wave on Sirius. Typically, he's on Saturday nights for what they call the Saturday Night Safety Dance, doing all the mixes for him for Sirius. So he's going to be on next Monday, which is going to be 7 p.m. Eastern. 4 p.m. Pacific for the West Coast people. And then next Tuesday, doing another artist spotlight featuring another Jersey gentleman, Richard Rano, Richie Rano, formerly of the band Stars, who big in the 70s. They had the same management of Kiss. I think it was Ted Templeman. Is that right? No, I forget the guy's name.
And the only
Yeah.
manager I know from back in the day was Doc McGee, because he was in all those.
It might be.
He was
Yeah.
in behind. I know.
Yes.
I think he's their guy now. I don't know if it was from the beginning, but
Yeah, I'll check with him. But yeah, so Richie's got some great stories, and he's still buddies with the likes of Ace Frehley, and has great stories of playing and maybe not getting along with certain bands that we all know, like Aerosmith, and it's good shit. So I hope everybody tunes back in for that. But again, Sean Patrick Music, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Sean, for doing this. I appreciate it, my friend.
hey, thanks for having me. And if you want to wish me a happy birthday in 2.5 hours, you can go ahead.
Do we want to do it now? Just say happy birthday now.
No, I don't want
What
to.
if it's, you know what? Let me put it on Facebook, because unless it's on Facebook, it doesn't really happen.
And you know what? Don't even worry about it. We're good. I don't want people to know it's my birthday. I actually keep telling everybody. I was telling everybody at work, if I die before I wake up, do not allow them to say that I turned 39. If I died before I wake up, I died at 38. Do not let the obituary say 39-year-old Sean Dunn. Not going to happen. 38.
There would be some irony if you did pass away, though, because your last name is Dunn.
I mean, so will my
Sean.
entire family. Anytime we die, it's ironic.
Well, pretty much, yeah. Sean's
This is
Dunn.
why people don't like Canadians.
This is why. So happy birthday, buddy.
Thank you. And it's not 40. What the fuck? Danielle wrote happy 40th?
Oh my God.
Dude, not cool.
She's trying to write you off already.
Not cool.
That's horrible. So thanks, everybody. Sit tight, Sean. I'm going to Mary's wishing you a happy birthday. I'm gonna raid
Thank
over
you, Mary.
to my buddy Eli Katz. So sit tight. Thanks, everybody. So hang on. We're gonna raid Eli Katz, another great Toronto DJ.
What's a raid?
Oh, so a raid is basically what I'm going to take my viewers now that are watching us and send them over to his channel.
Ooh.
Yeah. A lot of times what'll happen is we participate, us DJs, in what's called a raid train, where it goes from one DJ to the next. And so one DJ, once he's done, he sends everybody that's watching him over to the next DJ, and so on and so forth. And Mary helps put a lot of these raids together. And 12 hours, 24-hour raids have happened. So we're going to say, yeah, so we're going to raid over to DJ Eli Katz in Toronto. I think he's playing some soft music, and sit tight. Almost. And away we go.
Oh,
Wait
it says
for it.
DJ Katz.
DJ Katz, and there he goes.
DJ Staples is rating with a party of 5.
That's us.
Party. Of
Hold on. Party of
five.
Cinco. And I hit end broadcast. And the